Hi there. Thank you for your interest in the 5-point intersection and corridor connections multimodal study. My name is Sarah Nicolai, and I'm a transportation planner with Robert Petch and Associates, the consulting firm hired by the city to help develop this study. The purpose of this presentation is to give you a quick overview of the study and to update you on our progress so far. After I introduce the study area boundary, I'll provide some background information and discuss some of the safety data we've analyzed over the past few months. Then I will share some areas we see as potential locations for improvement based on this information. Finally, I'll provide an update on our plan going forward and let you know how you can stay involved. The study is focused on two 5-point intersections. First at Last Chance Gulch, Helena Avenue and Neal Avenue, and secondly at Lyndale Avenue, Montana Avenue, and Helena Avenue. These two intersections each have 5 legs and can be confusing or uncomfortable for drivers and non-motorists. Additionally, the study is considering the connections between these intersections, including Last Chance Gulch, Lyndale Avenue, Helena Avenue, and Montana Avenue. These corridors serve as important connections between the downtown and midtown areas of Helena. The transportation system serves multiple modes, including personal vehicles, large trucks, transit buses, bicycles, and pedestrians. However, accommodations are not always adequate for each mode, and connections between key areas of the city are lacking in some cases. In general, the roadways and intersections in the study area adequately accommodate current traffic volumes and operate at acceptable levels, with a few exceptions. Several high-use pedestrian corridors occur within the study area, including Last Chance Gulch in downtown, as well as Helena Avenue, providing access to schools, parks, and other amenities. The study is analyzing ways to improve access and connectivity for all modes. Many of the intersections and corridors within our study area have been evaluated in past documents. This study is meant to be complementary to those previous planning efforts, and any recommendations provided in the past will be evaluated and considered moving forward. I'll touch on a few of the past plans that are of particular interest to us as we develop this study. First, the Centennial Trail Master Plan is important because the trail currently ends at National Avenue near the study area, and the connection across Montana Avenue has yet to be completed. Making that connection will be important for non-motorists to provide improved east-west access. The Helena Gateway Intersection Concept Study, conducted in 2012, identified potential intersection improvement options for the Last Chance Gulch, Helena Avenue, and Neal Avenue intersection. This past effort will be our starting point as we look at potential improvements for this intersection. The Greening Last Chance Gulch and Downtown Helena Master Plan both provide visions for downtown Helena, especially on Last Chance Gulch. A big takeaway from these plans is the potential for two-way traffic on Last Chance Gulch downtown. This is something we'll look at both from a traffic and safety perspective, but we'll also consider ways to make the corridor generally more accessible for all modes. Both the railroad and downtown urban renewal plans support investment in their respective urban renewal districts, and they have established tax increment financing or TIF districts to help fund improvements in those areas. Supporting the efforts of these districts and maintaining connectivity between the two will be an important consideration moving forward. Lastly, I'll mention the Cruz Avenue visioning effort, which is still under development. That effort has identified some initial redevelopment concepts for Cruz Avenue, and we'll be sure to coordinate our recommendations to make sure they align. In addition to traffic operations, access, and connectivity, safety is a very important factor in this study. We examined historic crash data over the 5-year period from 2014 to 2018. During that time, almost 400 crashes occurred along the study corridors. Of those crashes, 1 resulted in a fatality and 6 resulted in serious injuries. There were also 8 crashes involving pedestrians and 2 crashes involving bicyclists. We are examining all of these locations closely to identify ways to improve safety. Crashes most commonly occurred on weekdays during peak travel times. This trend matches our expectations because as traffic volumes increase, the likelihood of a crash also increases due to higher exposure rates. About 60% of all crashes occurred at an intersection. This distribution is also to be expected in an urban environment with high traffic volumes, such as the downtown and midtown areas of Helena. Taking all of this information into consideration, the planning team has identified several potential areas where improvements may be beneficial. These improvement areas are still preliminary and formal recommendations have not yet been developed. Right now, we're gathering input from city officials, stakeholders, adjacent landowners, and the public to inform the process of identifying and evaluating alternatives. We've organized the potential improvement areas according to our four connecting corridors of Last Chance Gulch, Lyndale Avenue, Helena Avenue, and Montana Avenue. Starting out first with Last Chance Gulch, we've identified 5 potential improvement areas. As I mentioned previously, we will evaluate two-way traffic on Last Chance Gulch and general multimodal accommodations such as bike lanes that have been recommended in past planning documents. We'll also consider improvements at the 5-point intersection of Last Chance Gulch, Helena, Neal, and Cruz Avenue, including roundabout, traffic signal, and other alternative treatments. The final recommendation will depend on the evaluation of Last Chance Gulch street configuration and traffic flow alternatives. We've also identified the Placer Street, Lawrence Street, and 6th Avenue intersections as potential areas for improvement. Some locations are not fully compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act, and upgrades are needed to make the intersections both safe and accessible for all users. 2 pedestrian crashes were reported at both the Lawrence Street and 6th Avenue intersections, so we're looking broadly at options to improve safety for pedestrians. Next up, Lyndale Avenue is part of US Highway 12, which is a national highway under the jurisdiction of the Montana Department of Transportation, or MDT. In coordination with MDT, there may be some opportunities to improve pedestrian and bicycle connectivity across the highway. There's already a pedestrian crossing at Warren Street, but it can be difficult to see pedestrians who are waiting to cross the highway in that location. We are looking at ways to improve that intersection. We also see National Avenue as a location in need of improvements. Due to the high volume of traffic on Lyndale Avenue, it's difficult for bicyclists, vehicles, and pedestrians to cross in this spot. National Avenue is frequently used as a cut-through to avoid the 5-point intersection at Montana Avenue. There were 32 crashes reported at this intersection, a number we'd like to see decrease. Additionally, as we think about connections for Centennial Trail, National Avenue may be an appropriate choice to connect down with Helena Avenue. We're looking at ways to strengthen the non-motorized transportation grid using the National Avenue corridor. Helena Avenue is already a great corridor with wide travel lanes, bike lanes, parking areas, and sidewalks. However, it intersects the street grid system diagonally, creating a series of skewed intersections with difficult geometrics and very long, unprotected crossing distances for pedestrians. Most of the improvement areas we've identified on Helena Avenue focus on intersection geometrics and alignment, as well as improving pedestrian and bicycle accommodations, both along Helena Avenue and crossing Helena Avenue. As part of Highway 12, the improvement areas identified on the Montana Avenue corridor are mainly within the jurisdiction of MDT. There are problem areas that have been documented in the past that are worth including in this study as well. The rail crossing is a high priority for both the city and the state. When trains cross at this location, it can have significant effects on traffic flow. A grade-separated crossing, such as an underpass or an overpass, is desired when funding becomes available. We will also consider potential improvements at the 5-point intersection. Again, we will look at roundabout, traffic signal, and other alternatives such as modified intersection alignments when we consider improvements here. The traffic operations at this intersection are also influenced by the left turn from Montana Avenue onto Boulder Avenue. Since the two intersections are very close to each other, there can be issues with conflicting turning movements and queue lengths backing up into the 5-point intersection. MDT has considered closing this left turn for traffic and safety reasons, but we also recognize the importance of the Boulder Avenue connection for the schools and businesses that are accessed by this route. As an alternative to the Boulder Avenue connection, extension of Livingston Avenue may be an option. However, Completing this connection between Roberts to Montana Avenue would require coordination with Helena High School and may not be possible in the short term due to student safety concerns. Now that we've connected an initial evaluation of our study area, we are looking for your feedback. We want to hear your concerns about travel within our study area. Your input is valuable to this process, and we want to make sure that the recommendations from this study serve the needs of our community. There are a couple ways for you to learn more and share your thoughts. You can come visit us at our informational meetings on Monday, September 28th and Tuesday, September 29th. Due to health and safety restrictions, we are conducting small group meetings by appointment only. You can schedule an appointment at the website shown at the bottom of your screen. The website also includes links to our draft existing and projected conditions memo. We encourage you to review the information we've developed so far and let us know your thoughts. We'll be collecting and reviewing comments as we identify and evaluate alternatives moving forward. You can also contact our project manager, Scott Randall, using the contact information provided on your screen. Please reach out with any questions. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation, and we look forward to hearing from you.